am back. It's about 1 week since my quarantine ended. Today's Tuesday, April 28th. So I guess I've been here exactly 3 weeks now. And I wanted to give you a little bit of an update of what life has been like here now that I'm out of quarantine. Still living in the yurt. I just posted my little virtual yurt tour, so you can see what my space is like that I'm in right now. I'm on my lunch break. We have that break from like 1 to 2:30, and I at first was needing to nap usually most of that time, but I think I'm adjusting more now and I'm able to do stuff like this, catch up with people during this time. But I will say it was quite the adjustment going from only living in the yurt to then being able to have the outdoors or the indoor space of the farmhouse after my 2 weeks of quarantine were up. I just wanted to touch everything. Or it actually felt kind of weird touching everything. Kept wanting to spray the door down like I used to have to do. And the one day I went to fill my water bottle and I went and filled it up outside at the spigot just out of habit, and Jillian was like, "You can fill that up inside now." And I was like, "Oh wow, life is so different, and it's gonna keep changing." There's gonna be a new family coming here in 2 days, so they're gonna live in a yurt. It's a bigger yurt, and they have a 9 or 10-year-old son, so that will be fun to have a kid here. It'll also be good to have some extra hands on the farm. So it'll be different when we have another group of people doing quarantine. I'll be helping to prepare meals for them since they won't be able to go in the house the first 2 weeks. But yeah, it's been really nice right now having the meals together, the 4 of us. I don't think I've ever sat down for a meal with people this often. My mom's side always does Sunday dinner, or we always did Sunday dinner. Or we would have dinner together as a family after school, after work. But pretty much lunch and dinner, we're all sitting down together, helping make it together. Even sometimes breakfast is together over our morning work meeting. So that's been a big change, and it's been really nice. And at first I was kind of worried about how my routines would change. I got so used to being alone in my yurt. But it's been really nice to not feel lonely. I wasn't really feeling lonely in my yurt, but I was worried that I would be. And luckily, because I have cell service, it didn't come to that, but I would have been fine either way. But I feel lucky that I have a built-in community here. So not only am I safe during this pandemic, but also I have a community of people that I'm together with and, taking care of each other, and it's nice. The other thing that's changed, I have a little list here because there's so much I want to update you on. The other thing that's changed is now we do yoga and meditation together in the morning. It's optional, but yoga is from 6 to 7 a.m. together in this beautiful yoga space they have. And you can come and go as you're comfortable. So I usually roll in around 6:15. And it's your own individual practice, but we're all practicing together. Stove's not on today, so hopefully I won't burn out my voice again. And then from 7 to 7:30, we sit for 30 minutes of silent meditation. And so we've been doing that for about a week now. It's been a great way to start the day. Much easier to be accountable when you're doing that with other people rather than when I was just doing it alone in my yurt. I've referenced a couple times that there's still just 4 of us. In my last video, I had said there was a 5th person coming. She actually ended up not being able to come. So the good news is that gives me an opportunity to possibly be able to stay here longer. Originally, I was planning on, they thought that they would only have room for me until about June. But now they could have space for me for the whole season, which goes through November. So I'm not really committing to anything yet, but I think it would be cool to see the whole season and all the different things that they do. I'm learning so much. Like, I've just been learning about living very simply, and a few different things I've been inspired by are how they almost have no waste here because of having the compost piles. Most of the food waste can either go in the compost piles or to the chickens. They have some recycling, and then probably like one small bag of trash a week so far. It's pretty incredible. And one tip that I know I'm going to be doing when I get back home that I thought some of you might be inspired by is they go so far as to wash out their Ziploc bags and reuse them and reuse them and reuse them. And also use canning jars for saving food instead of buying Tupperware or things like that. So I'm just like learning so much about innovation between what I see in their beautifully organized home and what I've just little things that I make up to exist in my yurt. But you can do a lot with a little. A couple people asked if I will be staying in the yurt post-quarantine, and yes, I am. However, depending how many more people come, there's only 4 yurts here, so after this new family comes, there'll be one more yurt. So if someone else comes, I might move to a walled tent. So that wouldn't be till June because the weather isn't gonna cooperate until then. We'll still need the wood burning stove or I'd freeze. But at some point, I might be living even more simply in a walled tent. And I'm pretty excited about that. I think it'd be like camping, and I had said I wanted to do a lot of camping this summer, so you get what you wish for. So yeah, learning a lot about living simply, and also at the same time just really grateful to have so much work to keep me busy and keep my mind off of things and just stay really present. Good news, my knee recovered within a couple days. Rest really works. Although I do already have some other cuts and bruises, normal wear and tear, I guess, on the farm. The majority of the bruises and cuts were from hauling firewood out of the woods. I hope I can get a picture soon because I'm basically just carrying giant limbs like deadlifts into a truck. It's pretty fun. I feel really strong. And then all of that wood gets chopped up. Oh, sorry. I have these headphones on because there's a hen being super loud outside. So I thought I would try to minimize that. But anyway, I was trying to point at my stack of firewood over here. Basically, all the firewood we're hauling now will be for next winter. Other things we've been working on, starting to get the garden ready. The weather, again, is a few weeks behind here. For example, the daffodils are up, but haven't fully bloomed yet, if that gives you an idea of where we're at. But we have been starting to clear the garden beds from last season and prepare them for this season. So the one area where there were corn stalks, we pulled all those stalks out, put them on the compost pile. We've been weeding. I discovered my new favorite tool, which is a stirrup hoe. And it's just like sort of cuts the weed, and then you just leave it there in the soil and it will get burned by the sun. So I had a lot of fun with that the past couple days. We have also been starting seedlings, and there's a greenhouse that we are putting them in and keeping them watered and warm until they're ready to go in the ground. I've done peppers, lots of kale and other greens. Today I'm going to plant flowers. What else? Oh, the best job that I've had so far is, surprise, surprise, taking care of the lambs. And one of my actual jobs is to socialize with the lambs, which means cuddling them. So if you are on social media, you've probably seen a lot of pictures of me and lambs, because that's part of my day. I usually take 20 minutes, go down there and catch a lamb and pet them on their chin and behind their ears like a cat, so that they'll be friendly when they grow up. And they run away and pretend that they forget that we're friends. But eventually, I'll chase one into the stall and catch it. And it's just one of my favorite parts of the day. And other lamb stories, which are also chronicled on my social media, but I'll just do a quick recap here, is the story of the panda lamb. So after the twin rams were born, a couple days later there was another sheep that was giving birth. She only gave birth to one, and it was a natural birth. I missed it by like 2 seconds, so I didn't actually get to see it, but he didn't get up right away when he was born. Usually the lambs start walking around within like 5 minutes, and then they figure out how to feed after about 10 minutes. In this case, he could not get up. It was really scary. I had posted on Facebook, like, please send prayers, send love. We don't know if he's going to make it through the night. So we had like 2-hour shifts all through the night where we went down and made sure we basically had to teach him how to nurse and lift him up to his mother so he could nurse. Eventually, he did get some strength in his legs after he started getting some milk in his body, I think. But his back legs still aren't working super well, so he kind of just like tumbles around. We call him Tumbleweed. We also call him Panda because he looks just like a panda. Black around his eyes, white head, black body, like white arms. He's so cute, and I'm so glad that he made it through. I think he's always going to be kind of a tumbly sheep. We're a little worried about how he's going to do in the pasture with the cows. He has been in the pasture with other lambs and the mama sheep so far, and he's been all right. But we'll see how it goes. We're taking it step by step. So that's the story of the panda lamb. Please go look at pictures on Facebook or Instagram if you're interested. He's very sweet. The last thing I wanted to talk about in this video is my origin story for Meta Earth and why I'm here, because I realized I didn't super explain that in the last video. This will be review for a lot of you, or a quick summary if I didn't have a chance to talk to you about it personally before I came here. But basically 3 years ago, I had been getting really into yoga, wanted to do a yoga retreat, was also obsessed with the idea of Vermont and farms in Vermont. So I Googled yoga retreat Vermont farm and found Meta Earth Institute. Came on a yoga retreat here just for a weekend, and it was just like the most beautiful place in the world, completely life-changing. And I saw that they have this work exchange program. I knew that the people making the retreat happen. We're living here, working here, and always wanted to come back and do this. And things just ended up working out finally after 3 years of thinking about this, that I was able to save up enough money, get to a point where I felt comfortable leaving my job, and I'm finally here. And I thought it was just gonna be for 6 weeks, but now it might be a lot longer. So that's sort of where the idea came from, was just because I saw the opportunity and found a way to make it happen and took the leap, I guess you could say. And I don't know what my next step will be, and I'm not really thinking about that. I'm just taking it day by day, enjoying my time while I'm here. I'm definitely getting into the rhythm of it and still enjoying it, still very happy. You know, there's ups and downs. There's the parts of the day where you're literally just dealing with, I don't know if I can swear, so I'll say poop. I know this is a bedtime story for some people. So yes, poop is part of the day, but then there's great parts of the day, like amazing conversations over meals. And yeah, so 3 weeks in, it's like not all shiny and new anymore. But like I said, just really happy to be busy and in a safe place, and glad that I have the opportunity to stay here longer. All right, I think that's enough for now, but I hope you're all well. Love you and miss you.